On January 1st, 2022, the first Winnie the Pooh book entered public domain. What followed in May would send the internet into a feral frenzy. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was officially announced. I'm Hannah, and this is Hordes of Horror. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going on a bear hunt. Does anybody else remember that from school, or just me?
Deep in the 100-acre woods, a young
Oh, this is
boy
cute.
named Christopher Robin came across some most unusual adolescent creatures. Crossbreeds.
This is very different on the take
Some
of Winnie the
would
Pooh.
describe as one fateful night, on the brink of starvation.
Did Pooh and Piglet
decided in
eat
order
somebody
to
else?
survive, the group must consume one of their dearest friends. And thus, Eeyore was...
Wait, they ate Eeyore? No! Like, that's my boy. How dare they eat Eeyore? I know that this was actually filmed in Ashdown. Ashton? The actual forest that Winnie the Pooh is based on.
I certainly don't want you to think I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy, Chris.
No, he just befriended a bunch of random creatures in the forest that then ate their friend. He's perfectly normal. She is very politely saying, I don't believe what you're telling me, but I like you, so I'm gonna go along with it.
They're not imaginary, man.
No, they're murderous psychopaths now. And it's all because you stopped feeding them and they ate my boy Eeyore. I'm not gonna let this drop. Okay, considering that this movie has got a tiny budget, Eeyore R.I.P. They wrote it on cardboard. I was just gonna say, for a low budget movie, its budget's not too bad so far. I take that back. They've done Eeyore dirty. Please wake the bear. Please accidentally wake the bear. I would love it if that is our first meeting of murderous Pooh Bear. I love his overalls though. Piglet! Okay. He's still tiny then. No, don't stop, Piglet. Keep going, Piglet. Piglet's gone rogue. And so's your main boy. Get him, Pooh.
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please?
Because you left him behind. Okay, this is where I'm hearing it's low budget, because I think the person doing the voiceover was just killed as Christopher Robin's wife, whose name I did not listen for.
I just feel on edge.
Are you a Pooh and Piglet
The
survivor?
slightest noise and I can just feel my heart racing.
If that's what her plotline is.
Being aware of how this is affecting. Have you
Please
thought
say
about
she's
how
talking
you
about
get
Winnie the
away?
Pooh.
Go somewhere quiet. Disconnect from the busy world. Somewhere which...
Like, because if she's not talking about Winnie the Pooh, I'm going to be so disappointed. Oh my god, why is the blonde one wearing 6-inch stilettos to go camping? Like, I have so many questions. Ah yeah, I've got no idea where I am, so I'm gonna take a, I'm gonna take a quick walk through this random forest where I probably don't have signal. Get her, Pooh Bear. Oh, it's very like The Furies, which is a movie I really like. Okay, Pooh Bear's got no chill. In the grinder? What is this? Okay.
I started to feel this unease again, like I was being watched.
Okay, so she's got a peeping Tom that turned into a stalker.
And one night,
Okay, Texas Chainsaw reference. Okay. This is where I'm more interested. I don't give an actual crap about the girl who was stalked. Like, give me murderous Winnie the Pooh and his bestie Piglet terrorising Christopher Robin. That's what I want. Well, you didn't love him that much if he disappeared off to college and never checked back in. Because they wouldn't have become starved to the point where they ate Eeyore if you'd made the effort to come back. He lied to you, Pooh. Kill them. Do it. It's a slasher movie. And so far we're 35 minutes in and only one person is dead.
Whatever. You're not ruining my holiday, you fat freak.
Oh, don't curse out Pooh Bear. Not in that swimsuit. That is not a swimsuit you want to die in. No. Pooh's little elbow patches though. They're very cute. Oh, Pooh drives now. Oh, that person has never clearly hogtied anybody before. That is a bear. It's a big yellow bear, but it's still a bear. Hiya! He's so cute! Sorry, this is the UK. The fact that she is suddenly like, I've got a gun, it would never happen. Not in the UK. Be as quiet as possible, wearing slides. Okay. Slap, 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 slap. Is it a special sledgehammer that doesn't fall over? Piglet's going fishing! Smack! Oh, damn! Okay, that was cool. That was quite the shot there from Piglet. Pooh, you're not eating that, mate. You're moisturising with it. In your rubber gloves. Okay, I don't understand why she's so upset. I don't like. Obviously, her girlfriend has died, but we've seen them have 2 interactions, and one of them she was rejected by her. Like, clearly they weren't the strongest couple to begin with. Piglet's like a rabid dog. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, every time somebody approaches Piglet, he's like, get away. Here he comes like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. You rang. If that's Piglet mauling her. Piglet's just like, dinner. It's not exactly mauling her. He's just licking honey off of her face. Okay. We found who I want as the final girl now. But we know she's not going to be because we keep killing off everybody that's got a backbone. Wait.
Alice.
Is that Piglet dead? Okay. With the machete? Well, that better be in the tree. Pooh has had enough of you both now. Get him. What is Pooh doing? What's this? What's this running? It's like he's doing like some sort of aerobics class. Are these 3 guys gonna try and take him out?
Boys, you ready?
Oh my god, they are! Like, what is this Motley Crue tribute band gonna do? I'm sorry, but I'm putting all of my money on Pooh Bear in this fight. 4v1, I don't care. Like, oh, his rubber gloves are bleeding. But yeah, I'm betting on Winnie the Pooh for this fight. Like, Piglet's died, what has he got to lose? Like, Pooh Bear might as well be singing Can't Touch This while he's being beaten up, because you know he's gonna stand straight back up again and beat them all to oblivion. Why is he suddenly like doubled in size, or is this guy shrunk? Like, why is he like 10 feet tall? Why is he a kaiju? What? What is happening? Just leave! Get out of the 100-acre wood! If that's killed Pooh Bear after everything he's just been through, I'm gonna be so angry.
Where is he?
Yes, Pooh Bear! This movie is wild. It's wild. I'm having the best time at a mediocre movie. He's just like, hiya, in the back window. Where's Christopher Robin gone? Oh my god, Winnie the Pooh has turned into Bray Wyatt! He just put it on a lantern, and it is the Wyatt family. That's amazing! Of course he did! Because of course this movie is what? Predictable! But I kind of like that it's predictable.
Let her go. No. I'll stay with you forever. Take me instead.
Pooh's like, I'm taking you and I'm killing her as well. Okay, so Pooh Bear's letting him go. Okay. So is this set up for the sequel? Like Christopher Robin's gonna come back and try and finish the job or something? This is your warning, Christopher Robin, to get out. I love a horror movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is a prime example of a horror movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. Now, it is fully aware of this as well. I've seen a lot of reviews online saying things like, this movie is bad and this movie is awful. And if you go into this movie expecting a serious piece of horror, then yes, of course, you are going to be disappointed. At the end of the day, it's a slasher movie. It's not that complicated. Does Winnie the Pooh have a motive for his behaviour? Yes. Does that motive match the character that we know? Yes. Then that's it. That's all you need as a basis for a slasher movie. By nature, slasher movies don't need to be overly complicated. We don't watch them for the plot. We watch them because we like gory kills, and we watch them for the violence. We're not watching them because we want an interesting and deeply complicated storyline. So I'll talk about the things that I personally really liked about the movie first, and then I will talk about the thing that I think overall lets this movie down and why it is going to bring my rating down. Little tiny thing that I want to mention first, I love that Pooh's ears and his nose actually twitch. Like, it adds something to what I'm going to assume is quite a sort of static face mask, and it adds some personality to him that I think is needed. He's then, you know, you see him and you think, oh, he's kind of cute, and then he starts killing people. I think as well that it is a very smart idea to put him in overalls. It's a classic sort of like horror slasher piece of clothing, so that makes it identifiable with a slasher movie, and to put him in a plaid shirt underneath in red, it makes it recognisable with the Disney source material rather than the original source material, because in the original Pooh doesn't wear clothing. I was like, hand in hand though, I have a few small little issues with the costuming. Like, it's very obvious that Pooh Bear's gloves that he wears are just rubber gloves, like the standard yellow ones that you use to wash your dishes with. So that kind of takes you out of it when it zooms in on his hands and you're like, yeah, I've got a pair of those downstairs under my sink. So maybe for the next movie, I would like to see just a little bit of an upgrade to that part of Pooh's costume. Same thing with the girl who dies in the hot tub. I hate her entire wardrobe. Like, who is wearing 6-inch shoes at that time in the morning? First off, why, like, what party has she come from? Second off, that bikini that she dies in doesn't fit her. And as a girl, no, that is not an outfit that you want to die in. Her wardrobe choices are just all over the place. And the other girls, their wardrobes sort of, they all blend together. Like, could I tell you anybody's name in this? No, absolutely not. They all became like generic girl number 1, generic girl number 2, generic girl number 3 who is in a relationship with generic girl number 4. And sadly, I would like to say that I would at least remember the name of the main girl in it who had the stalker issue, but I can't even tell you what her name was, and she was there right till the end. I really liked the use of music and background sound in this. There were moments where the music took on a sort of more whimsical approach, and it was a brilliant sort of contradiction / contrast with the sort of violent and gory undertone of the scenes that were happening. The scene that I can pick out that this really stood out to me was the scene where the girls found Christopher Robin hanging, and the music became very sort of whimsical, and you knew that it was, if Pooh and Piglet came back, they were all gonna die. The levels of gore in this movie for me were great, and the violence was like spot on for me. I wish that the first and second kills had been slightly nearer together. Like, the first kill happens around the 35-minute mark, but we don't get the second kill until around the 50-minute mark. But from that point on, we are at full speed pelting towards the finish line, and the sort of gore level really amps itself up. So if you think it's going slowly up to that point, it then hits the gas and there is no holding back until that very end and the credits start to roll. And I think that for this movie works really well. But for a sequel, I would like things to just get going that little bit quicker, because in the beginning, you don't see what happens to Christopher Robin and his wife because the opening credits come up, and I think I would have liked to have seen what happened to them before the reveal of what happens to them around the, I want to say about 40 minutes into the movie you find out what actually happened to them. Speaking of Christopher Robin, I would have liked him to be used more as a plot device, because they make it very obvious that he is the reason why Pooh and Piglet are behaving the way they are. So it would have made more sense to have more conversations between Pooh and Piglet and Christopher Robin, and him trying to reason with them and them getting more and more annoyed / irritated by the fact that he doesn't understand that he is the reason that they are behaving the way that they're behaving. Also, the fact that at the very end of the movie, spoilers here if you didn't watch my reaction part of the video, the fact that Christopher Robin is the final girl in this movie, even though we follow the group of female survivors instead, it does make sense considering that we know there is going to be a sequel. But I wouldn't say it was necessarily satisfying to know that Christopher Robin is the only survivor and is the final girl. I would have liked it if, like, him and the other girl whose name I genuinely don't remember and I'm not going to Google it, if the two of them had then had a reason to escape. So yeah, am I surprised that Christopher Robin is the final girl? No. Am I satisfied that Christopher Robin is the final girl? No. Now, the thing in this movie that lets it down is the acting. Like, the acting is so underwhelming, but that could also be in part because of how strong the script is. None of the characters are strong enough, and without Pooh and Piglet being such massive mainstream known characters, none of them would be strong enough to carry this movie. You could replace Pooh and Piglet with a different killer. Would this movie be as strong? No, because the survivors are all the same. They don't have things that distinguish them from each other, apart from the fact that we learn that two of them are in a queer relationship with each other. But besides that, we don't know anything about, say, the girl with the glasses. We don't know anything about her. The girl that's obsessed with social media is the only one that really gets a standout moment. There's the girl that dies in the forest being chased down by Pooh Bear and gets fed to a grinder, but she doesn't have a personality, she doesn't have a character, she's just the redhead in the group. So I think in the sequel I'm gonna need stronger characters that don't rely on the fact that this is a movie that has got such beloved characters such as Winnie the Pooh and Piglet in the lead roles doing something that you would never expect them to do. At no point though was I on the side of the group of girls. Like, I was cheering on Pooh and Piglet the entire time, and you can see my genuine reactions to this. Like, that's a good sign that you have strong killers in a franchise, but it's not a good sign because it means your survivors and your group of heroines are really weak. But considering that this movie had a budget of less than $100,000 and it was shot on a location in Ashdown Forest over a course of 10 days, I'm pleasantly surprised with this movie considering how mixed the reviews have been for it. I am so surprised at what they managed to accomplish with this movie. Like, I've seen more than my fair share of low-budget horror films over the years, and some of them, they just scream low budget the second you start them. And I didn't find that with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. You started the movie and were like, oh, it's not got any money behind it. So that is certainly a positive. But I would say, if you like movies like The Banana Splits or Willy's Wonderland, then you will certainly like Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, because it's definitely on par with those two movies. They are self-aware of the material that they're working with, they don't take themselves too seriously, and they just have a good time, and it means that they are fun to watch. Now, we already know that we're getting a sequel to Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey at some point, and I will absolutely be watching the sequel. The budget is also going to be 5 times bigger, so if you could please put some of that budget into better actors, then that would be very much appreciated, and maybe have a second person work on the script with the writer, because I know that this was his directorial debut as well as his first time writing a full-length script, so I think that just somebody with a little bit more experience on the script writing would add so much more to the sequel. But that just leaves my final rating, and I am actually going to give Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey a 3.5 out of 5 stars because it appeals to my sense of humour. It does well what it sets out to do. So if you think that this is going to be a serious movie, think again. It's not. If you're looking for something fun that you can sit down with on a Friday night with your friends and order takeout, then absolutely give Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey a shot. As long as you've not got a Disney loyalist amongst your group of friends, then I think that everybody is going to have a good time with this movie. Thank you for watching. That has been my reaction and my review to Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I upload a brand new reaction and review video every single Friday. So until next time, bye.